Hello, cinephiles. Welcome to Silver Screen Sips, a podcast where three idiot friends talk about movies. And today we speak to an entire island from New York.
Hello.
This is Ellis. Everyone say hi to Ellis.
Hi.
Nobody.
Island.
That's hi. For anyone who watched last or listened to last episode, I briefly mentioned Ellis Island and our dirty salsa idea. So
Indeed.
we decided to bring her on so that we can all talk about Order of the Phoenix. How are you doing, Ellis?
I'm good. I, watched the wrong film in preparation for this episode, but it was on cable so much growing up. I think I've got it in the bag.
Let's add that it wasn't her fault. It was Bethany's because she told the wrong damn movie.
I told her to watch Half-Blood Prince.
It's been in my calendar for weeks.
And you told her to watch Half-Blood Prince.
I told her to watch Half-Blood Prince.
We worked together. How did this detail go to the wayside?
She's like, she gets it. She hopped in earlier. She's like, oh yeah, I'm so ready. I watched, Half-Blood Prince to prep for the episode and everything. And I was like, wait, we're not talking about that one.
I broke out the DVDs, Bethany, like the 2010s, like on the PS4. I cannot believe.
I'm so sorry.
Apology accepted.
As you guys know, like we said, we are talking about Order of the Phoenix today, not Half-Blood Prince. I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. I haven't been mentioning this in the last few episodes, so I want to start mentioning this again. There's going to be spoilers ahead for movies and TV shows. So, you've been warned. Don't get sad if something gets spoiled.
That was the most awkward way you said that in any episode.
I know. I'm sorry. I got distracted by something.
Ellis, stop making her nervous.
Ellis is making me sweat.
Oh.
I don't like that. That is not intentional nor consensual.
Oh. Hey, Ellis, I get it. It's hard being a...
It's an entire island I'm trying to talk to now.
No. Sorry, hold on. No, actually, she's also a giant statue made of copper.
The building on Ellis Island is like a terracotta color, but it's fine.
I know. He keeps thinking it's a Statue of Liberty. I've tried explaining this to him.
I don't know why.
Guys, I keep saying that she is both. She is both.
But she's not.
Ellis Island and
But
Liberty
that's
Island.
Liberty Island.
I understand.
It's an entirely different island.
I understand. They are 3 miles apart. You can see them from eye level on the fucking island of Manhattan, like from New York, just like Ellis said earlier.
So Lou, let me get this straight. So if I see you and Beth in the same within the same view of my eyeballs, does that make you both the same person?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Louis, I need a drink. What did you have for us today?
Wow. All right then.
I'm just jumping right into it.
Bethany's alcoholism kicks in.
Listen, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yes, it is.
And it's here.
All right. So today for the Order of the Phoenix, we have a drink called the Phoenix Feather. Guaranteed to perk you right up, even if you've been bitten by a basilisk. The Phoenix
Isn't that
Feather.
the lizard wizard?
The lizard wizard.
Yes.
What is in this drink, Louis?
So the Phoenix Feather, it is a blend of Lillet Blanc, Campari, grapefruit juice, and a choice of seltzer or club soda. Lillet Blanc is a delicious wine-based aperitif you can find at most liquor stores. Campari is a red liqueur that you can also find at most liquor stores. It's an Italian liqueur. And what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 ounces of the Lillet Blanc, 1.5 ounces of Campari, and 1 ounce of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice into a cocktail shaker with ice. Shake it vigorously. And then you're going to strain this into a Collins glass filled with fresh ice and top it with a bit of seltzer. The description is not as fun as my usual drinks.
Nothing beats the fire one from last episode.
We'll get there.
Oh,
we'll see.
I'm intrigued.
I have a little bit of alcohol knowledge to drop on this specific recipe.
Wow.
God. Big Lou, you have a competitor.
Well, not necessarily. It's more like a footnote to the beautiful explanation and photo that was served. But Quina Lillet, I believe it's pronounced Lillet anyway, was it was discontinued in production in like the late 1960s, and there were other variations of it that came after and other substitutes to the flavor. It was a big deal with the whole James Bond's Vesper Martini and Corpse Survivor #2 and stuff like that. And in the late 80s, it kind of saw a much bigger revival. So you can actually do a lot with a little when it comes to mimicking the Quina Lillet flavor. So it doesn't have to be a very specific, expensive, like reserve Gin de Lillet type $40 bottle type thing. You can definitely get away with like Lillet Blanc and Angostura for like $10, $20. And of course, I butchered the Angostura, excuse me, not Angostura, Angostura bitters, which is one of my personal favorite whiskey alterations. But yeah, Lillet, it's cool.
Lewis,
cool
you're fired. Ellis, you're hired.
Very impressed, though.
Beautiful bottle, though. Like, it definitely an old school classic martini, like not the non-bullshit actual gin martini drink, not new age vodka martini garbage. It's like a real knock you on your ass kind of ingredient.
Hell
And the
yeah.
bottle's pretty.
What does it
That's
taste like?
I am sincerely impressed by Ellis' knowledge. What does it taste like? Probably like white wine, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, more or less.
All right. Lewis, what are you going to rate it? We'll go down the line.
Based on the cool appearance of the glass in the photo, which you should check our Discord, guys, for those of you following, I would give this a 4 out of 5 for wanting to try this. It seems refreshing, almost.
Okay. 4 out of 5. Ellis? Oh, the sigh.
I think I'm really tempted to rate it a 4.5 out of 5, only because I'm not partial to grapefruit.
Okay. 4.5.
Fair. For the sake of describing the taste, Lillet Blanc
There you go.
tastes like a crisp white wine with a mild honey sweetness complemented by orange, delicate spring flowers, and golden raisins. There's a slight hint of bitterness that stays on your tongue with green apple and a tiny bit of cinnamon and baking spices.
This sounds like an Isaiah drink.
What a weird amalgamation of just random fruits and things.
Well, so this is a description probably by a sommelier. The smell is bright and mellow with sweet honey and botanicals, making it delicious to drink in many different ways. So honestly, yeah, it tastes like probably kind of like a sweeter Sauvignon Blanc.
Or like a sweet gin drink, because when you say botanical, I think juniper and I think Hendrix, but then you get orange and grapefruit and Campari, especially in the mix, and that's definitely more on the whiskey bourbon side. So it seems like it's a nice blend of like rich, ambery kind of beverages, but then also some of the crisp, lighter flavors of, like Lewis said, a white wine.
Excellent.
Well, when I hear botanical, all I think is gardens, so I have no clue what any of that meant. However,
Need to get you to try some Hendrix.
probably I don't think I've ever had Hendrix. I know the bottle. I serve it sometimes, but I've never actually had it. But I'd probably give this one like a 4 out of 5. I'd like to try it. I think the what do you call it, the Blanc would probably be the main thing I'd enjoy out of it. However, I don't like seltzer. I feel like seltzer ruins everything it ever touches. So if I can do it without the seltzer, I'd probably do it that way.
You could do club soda instead of seltzer. I mean,
It's just for the fizz, really.
yeah, it's
anything.
really just a topper.
Then yeah, well, 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Pretty highly rated compared to some previous episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't given my rating yet.
What was the one that we all gave like a 0.5 because it sounded just absolutely disgusting?
Oh, I forget what it was. Oh, it didn't have like Jägermeister or something in it, like disgusting.
Probably.
No, it was the hair of the three-headed dog. It was literally like it was Tabasco sauce, Mexican beer, kosher salt, chili powder, tomato juice, tequila, lime juice.
The hair of
That
the
sounds
three-headed
amazing.
dog. So it was like the Mexican Bloody Mary, essentially.
That sounds incredible.
It was a Bloody Maria.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Ugh.
And to shout it out, if you guys want to see our silver screen sips, they're all in our Discord.
Yeah.
You can try them for
yeah.
yourself and let us know which one you like most. Definitely can't be the hair of the three-headed dog.
We'll make some reaction emojis and we'll see which one gets the best. And they'll all be like of a dog throwing up or something. And that'll be on
Yeah,
the
right.
three-headed dog.
There you go.
Watch everyone who tries the hair of the three-headed dog actually says it's the best drink of the entire list.
Everyone's going to do it now just to spite us.
Yeah, probably.
Great. All right, what's your rating, Beth?
I don't know. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to switch it up. 3.75.
All right, shut up. No, we're not doing that.
Okay, well, first explain your 3 and then explain your 7.5.
Thank you, Ellis. I will gladly. 3 is because it sounds a little more on the sweet side than what I'm used to. Like I'm more of, I don't really like sweet drinks too much as opposed to when I was like younger. And the
whiskey
grapefruit
gutter.
also, the grapefruit also kind of is setting me off So that's where the 3s come in. The 7.5 is because I don't want to give it a 4. Just because.
Despite us,
Yes. And because, well, the grapefruit. Really, that's really it. And the seltzer kind of, I don't know, just it does seem like a nice summer drink, like by the pool. But I definitely think it does not deserve 4 stars because based on the other drinks I've given 4 stars, it's not up as high up there.
I think something that's very unique, aside from obviously that we've never heard of, is the Campari. Because I remember learning about Campari at an Italian restaurant because I'd never heard of it before. And this guy was like, "I want Campari on the rocks." I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, that like I've also the only 2 restaurant chains I've ever served in were Italian restaurants, and I am, if you can't tell already, a big proponent of classic cocktails, and they kind of go hand in hand. So my 4.5 is in large part for the history and the culture of it all.
Big Lou,
historian in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ellis.
Now, I have a question for all of you guys today. Okay, so my question for today has to do with the creatures and monsters and villains of the wizarding world. So, in your personal opinion, what do you think is the scariest creature or monster or whatever in the wizarding world of Harry Potter? All right, here are your options. In case you can't, if you can think of one that's scarier that I didn't mention, you can use that. But I'm just going to name a few to give you an idea. You have Dementors, you have the Basilisk, which is the lizard wizard.
The list.
I can't say it. Lewis.
Basilisk.
I know it's Basilisk. Okay, we got the Dementors, we got the lizard wizard, we got the werewolf, we got the Whomping Willow, we got trolls, we got dragons, and then there is another one that I want to mention, but I know if I say it, you guys will probably all say that one. So I'm not going to say it until later on.
Which one is it?
I'm not going to say it because you're all probably going to pick it.
I'm going to add 2 to your list.
Sure.
Aragog the Spider.
Right.
Dolores Umbridge.
Yes.
I was going to say the same thing.
We all know Voldemort's not scary. Isaiah, do the laugh.
Oh, that.
Yes. It's so good.
Harry Potter is dead.
Anyway. Okay, so answers. Anyone?
I like Ellis to go first. She is our guest.
Ellis. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Ladies first.
I think the Dementors are the scariest because not only of their powers, their visage and everything, but on a psychological level, humans are most terrified of versions of other humans that seem just a little wrong, just a little off. Why, like the Wendigos of
don't get me started,
Dawn,
bro. Those are the scariest. Those are the only thing that freak me out.
Same vibe. I feel like not only are they personally terrifying to me, both in what they are, what they stand for, how they're created and all of that, but just they look just human enough to be really creepy. So Dementors for me.
It's a good answer. I liked it.
Thank you.
It makes sense. I never really thought of that with it being, so similar to humans, but now that you say it.
You're going to think about it.
Isaiah.
Damn. I was going to go with the Dementors too because of similar reasons.
It's the scariest part of prison.
It is true. They are literally prison guards, and they are meant to scare you back into prison. So if you are literally like, I'm scared of prison, and you're willing to stay in prison because those guys are outside, then they are most terrifying things ever.
They're proponents of depression.
Yeah.
That's also true. What do you call it? Yeah,
it's like literally meant like depression personified or objectified, like created, given physical form, which is just so poetic.
J.K. Rowling did say that this is an unverified fact. I was not able to verify this one. This was just coming out of my research. But does seem that she was going through some depressive episodes when making the Dementors. And so they are actually literally that. They're literally depression. Personified. At least that's what I've read so far of what she said. But to be honest, a lot of things what she said is after the fact and kind of made up.
So then, Isaiah, you say Dementors as well then? Or
I do say Dementors as well. I wouldn't want to run into one of those.
Lewis?
Dolores Umbridge, I need no explanation.
I concur. That is my firm runner-up. It really is.
Humans are creatures too.
No, she just disturbs me. She's just a Karen.
I can deal with Karens.
Oh, but Lewis read the book.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you guys know more about what she's capable of than we do.
Did you read the book?
I did read the book.
A fellow scholar.
Yes, long time ago, I might add, but I did read the book.
No, see, I remember telling them in the other episode, like I read the book and saw the movie when it came out, which means that I was fucking, it's been 20 years for one of these. So I was like, what the fuck? That's weird.
I was the reverse. I'm wee baby Bob, and I saw the films first, read the books later for like extra context and everything.
My actual answer is not Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, what's your actual answer?
Your actual answer? Really? I would totally believe that. What do you mean?
No. Dolores Umbridge is my second. My actual answer, my personal fear, out of the creatures and options in the Harry Potter world, if choosing from this list, because there are more that I can think of that I'm not going to choose. The Whomping Willow.
You have mentioned multiple times the Whomping Willow.
It's a truly merciless creature.
Yeah, because I mean,
is it a creature? It's a tree.
Kind of. It's a sentient tree.
Yeah.
Sentience equals creature.
Yes.
So let's think of it this way. You're walking through a field. You notice a tree. You don't think anything of it because you don't see it do anything because there's nothing flying around or whatever. And as you walk under the tree, you get absolutely bodied by a fucking branch. You just get murked by a fucking branch with no warning at all.
Mm.
That's terrifying.
Mentors, at least you get a warning. The lights start flickering, the clouds get gray, and you're like,
it's cold.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
You notice a change in the air, and you better fucking, you start to fucking run somewhere. Versus this tree, you only have a certain distance you can make before the tree slaps you.
All I'm thinking is that like like a whip or like a gunshot because the branches fly so freaking fast at you
before you know it.
Yeah.
Well, here's my concern. And like, granted, I haven't read the books in a long time. I don't remember the actual depth and detail of which the Whomping Willows were considered. Like, maybe this was mentioned. But if they're sentient, then that means they probably just don't want you coming anywhere near them. Like, their roots are part of them.
Imagine someone going inside of you.
Yeah, like that's somebody walking over your fucking feet, and you would clearly be like, hey man, back up and everything. You push them back and everything, but the tree, is a tree and it bodies somebody. But what if you were to be like, okay, well, this is a Whomping Willow and where's the root stuff? And hey, sir, excuse me, I'm just going to walk past here. Hope you're having a good day. And then maybe it'll just be like chill and move some of its roots or whatever. You don't know. But an unprovoked Whomping Willow, like bumping into one not on the street, but on the forest floor, not good.
Why has Ellis got me sympathizing for a tree now?
A sentient tree.
Ellis, imagine it this way, since you are off the coast of New York.
Yes.
Imagine walking through a park in Manhattan and you get bodied by a tree because the Whomping Willow would absolutely live in a park in Manhattan.
Yes, it would. It would indeed. Well, then it'd just be New York.
Then it'd just be New York. Hey, New York, you're a great state. We love you.
I disagree.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
No. I need more of an accent. Would you please?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's gotta
channel it.
He's getting a character.
Well, I gotta think about my coffee and hot dogs and gotta go tell you to go fuck yourself because I'm walking through here and your fucking mother.
There you go. I like it.
That's it.
I'm walking here. You're stepping over my roots.
Hey, I'm whomping here.
Oh my God.
That's good.
That's a good one. All right. Well, now, Bethany, we would like to hear your answer. And the beast you did not want to tell us also.
Yeah. So should I tell you my answer first?
Sure.
Because, or actually, you know what? My answer is the one I didn't want to tell you guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Saving the best for herself, per usual.
Yes. A Bogart.
What, the screaming plants?
No, those are mandrakes.
It takes on the form of your greatest fear.
Oh,
basically like Pennywise. Remember, it's like that. Whatever you're scared of, it will take the form of that.
Okay, why? Because they can't actually cause harm.
Psychological damage.
It's still scary, yeah.
Nah, it's not gonna crush your head down to your ankle bones like a Whomping Willow.
Yeah, but
or it's not gonna swing you around like a troll.
It's not gonna whip you like a Whomping Willow.
So none of you guys would pick that? Just me?
No, I can understand.
Wow, that's surprising.
No, hold on. I personally do understand where you're going with this. I actually was thinking that's the one you didn't want to mention. But I was also thinking of a multitude of other creatures that we could mention.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I could see why Beth would not want to deal with a Bogart.
I don't even know what my greatest fear would be that it would take that fear on. Like, what do you guys think if you had to face the Bogart, what do you think it would take the form of?
It had to be a creature of some sort.
Yes. It has to be a physical form.
Wait, so somehow mine would be like an ocean.
Yeah.
I would like to mention for context, in one of the new Magical Beasts films where Catwoman's actress was one of the Lestrange family, and there was a scene, spoiler alert, there was a scene in one of the films where she was more or less, not really because she was a child, but she felt she was responsible for the death of an infant in a ship sinking overseas. So her biggest fear in class, when she's in Hogwarts and has the Bogart there and everything, is floating infant's body. And that was her biggest fear. Even like she'd never actually physically seen it with her own eyes. But in terms of what is your biggest fear, the context is quite wide.
It's so amazing how, like, yeah, it's weird how, like, a great scene or, like, a concept like that could make in such a terrible movie.
They're really not terrible. I really don't think they're that bad. But the second one was dark and went hard. That is for sure.
Ellis, you know what? I will give the second one a shot based off that.
I would.
Yeah, similar to what Ellis just described, my biggest fear. So, like, you know how Lupin in, I think it was Prisoner of Azkaban, you see him scared of a full moon, peering behind clouds. For me, it would just be like a small open ocean. Because I actually have a fear of open water.
Understandable.
So yeah, that would be my Bogart.
Isaiah?
How do you embody the entirety of dying alone?
Being in a coffin.
Yeah, I was thinking about that scene in Kill Bill where she's punching, before she punches her way out of the coffin when she's like almost having a panic attack. That's exactly what I think of.
Ellis just gets us. All right, I'm going to go with that.
Hey, nice.
Ellis, what's your Bogart?
I don't know. It might just end up being me, honestly.
Wow. She looks into the mirror and all she saw was herself.
Ouch.
Beth, what about you?
I'll get back to you on that.
No, bullshit.
I don't know.
We'll put a pin in it, Beth.
Lewis took my answer of body of water, so I'll just do like a variation of that, of being like in the deep, dark ocean, like where it's black.
No lights, you can't see the bottom.
Yes. Like that kind of like deep ocean. Basically a similar concept, just a little bit scarier for me.
That's fair.
That's my Bogart. Okay, Isaiah, what do you got for us?
All right, so let's get into some facts.
Mm-hmm.
I got quite a few today. All right, so Rupert Grint, our good old boy Ron, and Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville Longbottom, they were goofing around in Alan Rickman's car one day.
Oh boy.
And they spilled a milkshake inside.
Oh no.
Alan Rickman then made a rule that they couldn't come within 5 meters of his car after he had gotten a new one.
Weren't they like scared of him too?
Yes.
How did they end up in his personal vehicle?
Alan Rickman's a nice person.
Yeah, he is a nice person. They were scared of him, but he still goof around with them and stuff like that. But they all knew that like the whole you're not allowed within 5 meters of the car was kind of like a half joke, half don't ever spill a milkshake near it again kind of thing. But also that's funny. Yeah. So, but no, it was all in good. It was all in good humor. But yeah, they weren't allowed within 5 meters of his car because of the milkshake. Now again, another Neville Longbottom fact. During the scene where Bellatrix threatens him with she's like holding him hostage and she has the wand to his neck and stuff like that. He had moved his head, and Helena Bonham Carter accidentally punctured his eardrum.
What?
Oh.
With the wand?
The wand went into his ear, and it punctured his eardrum.
Ow.
Oh, God.
That sounds painful.
He was so nice. He had blood coming out of his ear and stuff like that. But he was so nice about it that she didn't know until 3 days later that when they were talking about it.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, they were talking about it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, you punctured my eardrum." And she goes, "What?"
He probably felt horrible. She's such a classy lady, you know.
Yeah, she felt really bad. Also, what do you call it? I'll just go to this one. I'm not sure if the wand was wooden or rubber. I assume this one's wooden because they actually used rubber wands towards the end of the movies. From this point on, afterwards, they started using rubber wands because they kept on breaking the wooden ones from the choreography. Now, the cool thing about this one is that they didn't until this point in the movies, they didn't actually have any. They haven't had any really wand spells or like any kind of choreography to it. It was just kind of like waving the stick around and kind of like spell. So, but because this was the first time there were going to be like actual action scenes of like there had to be like some type of dynamic. So director David Yates brought in a dance choreographer named Paul Harris to create what they then dubbed wand choreography. Basically spent a lot of time developing like several different moves for offense and defense, and then he taught everyone at the same time those sets of moves, and then he had let everybody else kind of develop on their own styles of said wand choreography. So Jason Isaacs, who plays Lucius Malfoy, he had mentioned how his form of wand, like him fighting, would be more old school and very stylized, very like posh and stuff like that. Like his back would be straight, kind of things like that. While when he was
fencing,
like it was more like a fencing thing. While he explained Gary Oldman's style was more of a street prison style, where like there wasn't any like pizzazz to it. It was very like you get the job done with whatever you got in that movement.
Kind of like Star Wars with the lightsaber styles.
Yeah. Now Helena Bonham Carter, she was talking about it, and then she said that hers ended up more like a ping pong ball style. And they were like, "What does that mean?" She goes, "Yeah, every time she would flick the wand, she would make like a clicking noise, so it sounded like she was flinging a ping pong paddle."
What?
Yeah, so every time she like fling it, she go. So
interesting.
Yeah, so
I wonder why.
I guess it was just reflex. For some reason, when she flicked her arm, she would just make that noise. Stephen King, he wrote a review. I believe it's Stephen King. It just says King wrote. I don't know, but maybe I'm going with Stephen King.
The only King.
Yes, the only King. Stephen King wrote a review in 2009 for the Order of Phoenix and for Entertainment Weekly, and he said, he said that Umbridge was one of the like most terrifying people. Like one of the most terrifying characters he's ever seen. Quoting, "The gently smiling Dolores Umbridge with her girlish voice, toad-like face, and clutching stubby fingers is the greatest make-believe villain to ever come along since Hannibal Lecter."
Oh my God.
Jesus
that
Christ.
says a lot.
Yeah, I know.
The King himself said that too.
Director David Yates revealed that Michael Gambon had the costume department add a small pocket in his robe so that he could sneak cigarettes on set.
Word.
Okay, so here's a random fact about Dolores Umbridge. The actress who plays her name is Imelda Mary Philomena Bernadette.
What a name. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it goes by Imelda Staunton. Anyway.
That's easy to remember.
She did play an exceptional part.
Mm-hmm.
Like book to film, exceptional.
Yeah, like what do you call? I hate that freaking character, and she did an amazing job making me hate her.
Yeah.
Another crazy thing here. She's received a medal from the royal family. She has the most excellent order of the British Empire of chivalry.
Really?
Medal. I guess she's like knighted by the fucking queen or something.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Good for her.
Random facts to throw in here.
Look at Lou. So proud of you.
I was just looking her up, and then all of a sudden that came up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Lou, you'll like our next fact. Helen McCrory, best known for being in Peaky Blinders and Penny Dreadful, originally had the role for Bellatrix. However, she was pregnant at the time, so she had to be pulled out of the fifth film. And then Bohem Carter got the role instead.
Iota of the Peaky fucking Blinders. Sorry.
Now, so this is I don't know which movie this took part of, but I threw it in here because I just thought this would be a freaking hilarious one. So Helena Bonham Carter there's a flirty autograph. Helena Bonham Carter asked for Daniel Radcliffe's autograph, who in turn wrote, "It was a pleasure being your co-star. In the sense, I always ended up holding your coffee. I do love you. And I just wish I had been born 10 years earlier and I might have had a chance. Lots of love for being cool."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what do you call it? Daniel Radcliffe trying to...
He's a little saucy.
Oh, yeah. I remember that, actually.
It's Helena, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would write a note.
Hey, I don't need to worry about being 10 years younger or anything. Let's go.
Lewis is like immediately.
Let me get in there. Helena Bonham Carter has revealed...
Sorry to my girlfriend who's listening.
Oof, that's rough.
I'm going to take that second part out of you apologizing.
I mean, when she realizes what we're talking about, I don't think she's gonna mind.
She'll agree.
She's gonna like listen. She's gonna be listening to it. You'll be like next to her, and then she's gonna look at you and just like nod her head, like, "Yeah, no, I agree."
I understand.
Give you a thumbs up. Now Helena revealed that she treasures this note and she keeps it in her bathroom.
Bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know why, but she said she keeps it in her bathroom.
I know why.
I know why.
Oh, I know why.
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, and those are all my facts for today.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right, then let's get into the review.
Ellis, why don't you go first, since you're our guest of the day?
Oh boy, review. I feel like I need an example.
Basically, just what did you think of the film overall, and what would you rate it out of 5?
I know that widely the Order of the Phoenix is is one of the more well received, as it's a little more action heavy, and the whole it's very relatable, and the whole form and under we're not allowed to do this, so we're going to do this anyway kind of a thing, and sticking it to the oppressive leading force kind of a thing. The twins leaving the Great Hall scene was just awesome and beautiful and everything.
Yes,
it was as frustrating of a film and a book as it was. It was very fitting for the age group that it was aiming to represent, I think. What's my scale? Is it 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10?
1 out of 5.
4 out of 5. In terms of films in general, 4 out of 5. And that is considering, and not just the film by itself, but considering we already knew the characters, the setting, the world building, like the film itself, 4 out of 5.
Wow. Good review. Good job. You did so well.
Explanation.
Hey.
Yeah. Great job, Ellis. Great job.
Who wants to go next?
Isaiah, do you want to go next?
I can go next. I like this movie. There's a lot to like about this movie. What do you call it? I
Isaiah likes something for once.
Ha ha ha.
It's because Sirius Black is in it, and he has a man crush on Sirius Black.
I mean, who doesn't?
You gotta love Gary Oldman.
Who doesn't? That's what I was thinking.
Thank
Him and
you.
Hans Zimmer.
Move over, Hans Zimmer.
Love Gary Oldman. Anyway, but yeah, so what do you call it? Gary Oldman's in this movie. That means it's great. What do you call it? The whole Dumbledore army with the versus Umbridge thing, that was amazing. I love that. The whole, because that just against the authority of oppressiveness is just, I don't know. I always dig those kind of things. So being like, bro, this is not right, and you got to find a way to fight that. I like that. I'm down with it. And so, but yeah, also then the second greatest thing about this movie is the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort when they're just in the hall, the hall of magic, and there's no music. It's just the sound effects. It's just the two of them. They know they can't kill each other because they are so powerful, and they're just duking it out. Like there's no I'm going to show some abracadabra at you. No. I'm going to try to drown you because I know that that murder spell isn't going to work on you. So like that fight there is just so freaking good. I love that fight. So, and then we call Umbridge. I can't stand that woman. She's an amazing actress because I hate her so freaking much. So she did her job very well. So I don't know. It's a lot of things I like about this movie. So I give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. 2 4 out of 5s.
There are a few things that they could fix, like the Cho Chang relationship got like shoehorned in there, and it was bed run really fast, and it was very lackluster. You can tell there was a few things that they didn't have a lot of time to like develop, so they kind of just threw it in there because they had to, or they needed to, because they needed to connect it somewhere. So there are a few like things. So there's some pacing issues, some writing issues. So it's not a perfect film, but this one's really good. I like this one.
Okay, Lewis.
Probably, I want to say it's one of the best films in the series.
Wow.
I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because there are some things that we should develop a little more, or maybe remove even. But in either case, I want to say it's one of the most well done films, especially for the adaptation of the books. I think the next ones would probably be Deathly Hallows, and then after that, Half-Blood. As far as, what do we say? I wish they had given a little more to Umbridge's character and some of the stuff from the book, like emphasizing her punishment to Harry, and also just her as a toad of a woman. But other than that, I agree with Ellis and Isaiah for the scenes that they chose. The Weasley brothers fireworks scene and the duel between, well, I guess good and bad, good and evil. Sorry, bad. Wow.
Evil.
Every villain is lemon.
Oh my god! Totally. That was unlocked a
niche memory.
Memory. Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyway, since we were talking about Sirius Black, and since I have this picture of Gary Oldman here in the chat, I want to say that was actually probably the best I would have imagined the scene, the final scene when he falls through the veil versus like the book. Like the description from the book to the film adaptation. I want to say it was probably the best way they could have done it. I don't know if Ellis would agree with me.
I do.
But
especially when like Harry would, like the way that film used, I don't mean to cut you off. It's just going to be quite a bit of a long tangent. Like the way that film used, what is it? Like emotional cadence and how it paid attention to when to take the music away and when to bring you so so like physically into the scene, like in the final duel, and how the sound effects were the most, I guess, present part.
Prominent.
Or when Sirius Black died and Harry was just in anguish and what that meant. Some of the most powerful situations I've ever experienced in media, film, TV, video games have been when you take away the cinema and the drama of it all, and you are just left with the closest thing you can to be feeling that with the character. I agree. It was done very, very well, especially when you're, immersed in the book and reading through all of that. It depicted it very accurately for me.
And I hope our other Potter fans concur.
Indeed.
Yeah, all of our potheads out there.
Hell yeah.
Potterhead.
No, I meant what I said.
Other than that, I would have actually, since I said there was something to remove, I would have actually taken the Cho Chang thing out. But again, I guess it kind of fits the rest of the film, even though it's kind of rushed. But yeah, that's my take on Order of the Phoenix. Beth, bring us home.
Yes.
Did you give it a 4 out of 5, Lewis?
I did give it a 4 out of 5. That's correct.
Okay. That's what I thought. I'm gonna start with my rating first. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this just to be different than the rest of us, or?
Yes, I like to be quirky.
Beth has to, assert her dominance.
Right, as a beta. According to Ellis Lewis, I'm a beta.
On occasion.
You just have a massive dong.
Thank you. Someone understands. So my rating, 4.5 out of 5, right? And after kind of looking back on this film, I didn't realize how much of it there was that I actually liked until, looking back on it, like I said. Because for me, I feel like 4, 5, and 6 are kind of a blur for me. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's the middle. But after looking back on it, I'm realizing that it's probably one of my favorites, to say the least. Like next to Prisoner of Azkaban, I think it's tied for first, honestly. I feel like everyone kind of already said how I feel. I think, Sirius Black, his death was done so well. And like Harry's reaction and like Ellis said, the lack of sound just makes you really can feel it's more impactful because you're feeling the character's emotion without having to hear it. And that's like a whole different experience versus hearing someone, crying or screaming. Being able to just see it and feel it just by seeing it is like, so to me, more impactful than if there were sound. I mean, Umbridge in general, obviously I hated her, but I really liked her as a villain. She was just done so well. She's a perfect casted actress for it. And like, I can't think of a single other actress that could replace her in that role.
I wonder if anybody's out there like who genuinely doesn't like her as a human being, just because she is so dislikable in this movie. I know there's some idiot out there like that, being like,
there's gotta be.
You were mean to Harry Potter and I hate you. I'm like, cool, that was an act.
Yeah, there's always a hater. I just really liked this one. It's definitely one of the highest ones for me. Is this the one where they take the polyjuice potion and they like sneak into the
no, that's part 2.
Really? Where they dress up? Was there like?
Oh yeah, no, this is the one where they sneak in the Gringotts, and they're all pretend like the adults are pretending to be them.
Yeah, where they dress up. No. I thought no. It's not Gringotts. It's
the Ministry of Magic.
Yes.
The one I'm thinking of is in the second movie when Helena Bonham Carter, when Hermione's supposed to be Helena Bonham Carter, who's playing.
That's
Hermione,
a different.
Who's sneaking in Gringotts.
Yeah, that's a different one. I'm talking about where they sneak. I liked that whole sequence. I think it's just really funny and stuff. So yeah, overall, great movie. 4.5 out of 5. Is there anything you guys would like change or no? You think it's pretty? I mean, I know you guys kind of already touched on that.
I have a very, very, very small qualm, especially in talking about emotional pacing and all of that. Oh, that's the word I was looking for earlier.
There it is.
Pacing.
I would have linked, and this is something I've thought about since the first time I saw the film, I would have let the death spell sink in a little more to Sirius. Like I would have had it physically been resounded that he is dead, he's gone, and it was just his corpse that was carried away. Like I feel like that could have been communicated with drawing it out just a couple seconds more with maybe a little bit more physicality on the whole. Like all life has been just completely deleted from his form. And then the rest is like, he's already a ghost by the time he hits that veil. That was just it. Like it was a little too sudden for me, and it always has been.
Ellis wants full ragdoll physics on the spot.
I mean, yeah, just should have gone flipping into the wall essentially, and then gotten pulled into the veil, like true GTA Broken style. It's
There you go.
Now, are you talking like Hayden Christensen appearing as a ghost at the end of episode 6?
No, that's a bit much. I just mean that I feel like it's difficult with spells because how, like, a gunshot wound is a gunshot. You know, if you shoot somebody in the heart or the head, that's a very physical, resounding, you know, bloody, like reaches back to your ancient instincts of, oh, this person is gone. And I feel like that's a difficult thing to communicate with Avada Kedavra. But again, you know, I'm no expert. I don't know how, but I feel like the whole film is so strong when it comes to emotional timing that there could have been a way to be like, this person is like physically, and then communicated more of the ghostliness in the 30 seconds or less, like the 10 seconds maybe it takes for him to evaporate into the void. But communicating that in such a small period of time and then going into the emotional weight that is Harry's reaction, very delicate storytelling there. So it's not so much as a qualm as it is
a wish,
I suppose. A wish, something to study, something that can only live in the imagination. Who's to say?
When you wish upon a star.
And kill Sirius Black more brutally. I don't know.
Louis, Isaiah, do you guys have anything you'd change?
I want to add something to what Ellis just said, really.
Do it.
Do it.
I don't know that I don't remember exactly if they did this with Cedric when they kill him, but I think something that would have added to it, or that would have added to any of these like death spells specifically, like whenever someone gets hit with a death spell in the film, is to show it going like, you know, maybe it hits them in the chest, right? But to show the green light kind of spreading throughout their body almost and making them kind of go limp in a sense.
What we need is...
took it,
Oh, sorry. Continue. I have something I want to add after that.
the visual effect at least. But like if they had made it where like it hit Sirius in the chest and he's a few feet in front of the veil, right? So then he kind of stumbles back as he looks at Harry before he falls through the veil. And, you know, given that effect of, oh my God, Sirius just got hit with Avada Kedavra and he's fucking dead. It would be something that they would have had to go like make sure it was present in other films that have the death spell launched.
That's true.
But, it would have made like it would have been a nice visual effect to try and work out. Or they could have made it unique to Sirius also.
That's also true.
Because it would have been like a very impactful scene in that sense. And also maybe for Dumbledore falling out of the tower or whatever. But
I think what you need is just to have the, you know, VFX artists react on YouTube. Just have them, they have a whole series where they make like R-rated versions of films and just do that.
Oh,
and
so
just make it.
Sirius just explodes?
Not explodes, but like you can see it, like, I don't know, maybe his veins, you can, I don't know, just something a little more, not gory necessarily, but just darker.
See the vein, see his skin turn gray, his eyes go dark.
Yeah.
The blood vessels explode.
Yeah, something like that where it's like, oh, you can actually physically see his body taking the toll of the spell or the curse.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to change something, it would be, now I didn't read the books, but after hearing Ellis and Lewis say that in the books Umbridge is worse, I would like to see more of that in the film. Because like, yes, she is terrible in the film and like the stuff she does is bad, but I want to see more. So
it was kind of relating to what I said. So the thing with Umbridge is that the way it's described throughout the books and the way Ellis did, or well, you guys also saw the film, but do you remember if they actually did the whole skin writing theme?
Theme, meaning like expanding on it beyond the one scene in the film with Harry?
Yes, exactly. So Umbridge's favorite punishment was to make you write letters, right? Like you're in detention in her office and you're writing out this letter. But what you don't realize until about a couple seconds after you start writing is that the feather is magically induced to write the ink into your skin.
Not just write, it's like it carves it into you. Yes.
There's some really freaking dark stuff in this one.
Yeah. So in the book, that's a much longer scene, and it happens more than once to Harry. Yeah, so like if they expanded upon that in the scene a bit, like maybe if they even showed it like almost like a time lapse of Harry having to do this over and over again, or like the scar maybe like fresh right after, that would also be a good way to do that.
I agree. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to add before I sign us off? Lewis, Ellis, anyone?
It was cool.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, thank you for being here, Ellis.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us, Island of Ellis.
Indeed.
We would love to have you again sometime.
Maybe next episode.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I've actually watched the film recently. That would be spectacular.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
be ideal. Okay, well, you guys know where to find us on Instagram and all other social platforms is Silver Screen Sips, except Twitter is Silver Screen Sip with no S. Please email us your movie suggestions for our next listeners episode. We have a few already lined up, but we could use just a few more. So please send us anything you want us to review.
Make sure that Beth is watching Dune.
Oh, no.
Or hop on Instagram. I believe you guys have a poll up on your Silver Screen Sips Instagram, correct?
We do.
Yes.
You can also do that.
You can also email us from our link tree.
Yes. There's lots of ways.
Yeah, if you happen to go up and the thing is not there, you can always just
use a link tree.
Yes.
We post every Monday morning, so we will see you guys next Monday, and we'll talk about the movie that Ellis actually saw.
Yay.
Yay.
She sounds so enthralled.
She's like, I hate you guys so much. What the fuck was that?